She is one woman who says she was not fortunate to experience a blissful marriage. During her first year of marriage, her husband threatened to stab her. Still, she hung on in there, hoping it was a passing storm.
I was actually married on and off for 5 years, and I got separated for 10 years. Been in court for a while, and just recently got my divorce last month.
She chose a path that few spouses in her situation have dared to walk.
You must make a choice to live safely, because in an abusive marriage, anything can go wrong.
Marriage counselors say there is only so much they can tell a spouse who needs to walk out of a marriage that has fallen apart.
We as counselors don't say, go, you'll be killed. Because if we do that, the person may come back and say, it is Eleka who told me to leave.
The question, though, is when should one call it a day in a failing marriage?
Obviously, when life is in danger, one wants to look at what marriage is there. Is it even a marriage?
I had undergone a lot of emotional violence, receiving a lot of threats that I was going to get killed. And it made me fear so much. And after that, I went through sexual violence, which I would not like to elaborate, but it actually made me get admitted in hospital.
Abuse is actually about power. The perpetrator is able to sense this one. Their confidence level is very low.
At one point, though they both worked as doctors, a hectic profession for many, this mother of two had to take on a second job to meet her family's needs. However, the family she often broke her sweat to finance was larger than she thought.
I would only be given the car on Sunday to go to church with, and I was expected to put a full tank at that time. And by Wednesday, the car would not have any fuel. So I came to discover sometime last year that he had another family in another town, and that probably was the reason why he would use so much fuel during that time.
Counselors say sometimes it is difficult to point out signs of abuse in a relationship.
Sometimes we define abuse as use of excessive force. That is not necessarily so. Even just use of force. A slap may not be, as it were, very painful, but it's very humiliating.
Many continue to suffer in silence for fear of ending a vow they made before God that only death would separate them from their spouses. Some say it is their children that have shackled their feet.
What about if I'm dead? What happens?
For others, the mere thought of acknowledging that they are being abused is shameful. However, counselors say it is paramount for a victim to break the silence.
Other people may be seeing, as it were, this person may be killed. This person may be harmed one of these days. But this partner doesn't even realize what is happening because of the impact of abuse. Safety is not there at all in their hierarchy of needs.
There was a lady in the estate where I lived with who came up in the news, and she had been killed by her husband and thrown into a river.
That was just one in a string of marriages bedeviled by domestic abuse that have ended tragically. In one of the latest cases, former TV journalist Wamboi Kabiru was found dead in her matrimonial bed. Friends say she had confided to them that all was not well in her marriage. Sylvia Chebet for Sunday Live.